Hey y'all, welcome back. So I changed the name from Get Growing with Grant to Louisiana Suburban Food Forest, and I did that because I'm trying to reach people in Louisiana that are trying to make a food forest. So I want my name to be relatable. Get Growing with Grant. Who's Grant? I don't know. I hope y'all stick around and find out, but for the meantime, that doesn't really, draw people in. So it's going to be my slogan. It's important to me. It means a lot to me. So I wanted to talk about how I started my food forest because I'm already a little bit along the path and why I started it. But first, how I began this process. I laid cardboard down in this whole area. I got a chip drop, which was 7 trees worth of wood chips, and it ended up being all bald cypress except for one tree, which was a Chinese tallow, which is but it's decomposing all the same. It's going to be great. These wood chips are already breaking down. I'm going to get all kinds of fruit trees in here. I'm going to get berry bushes. I'm going to get all kinds of amazing support plants. I've been trading for them. I hope y'all stick around and see what I get growing, and you grow with me, grow with my family as we grow a lot of food. Why did I start my permaculture food forest here in Louisiana? Oh, there's lots of really good reasons why I did it, but the main one is that I've been really anxious about climate change for a long time. I'm an environmental scientist. I've been doing lots of study on the matter for decades now and worried about the inaction of governments around the world. And even though I do my work to protect drinking water, I wanted to do more, and with all the research I've done, it seems like trees are the answer. That was the reason why I started this forest. My concern about that, I wanted to plant more trees in my yard. I want to help spread trees. I'm going to grow lots of trees and sell them very cheaply or give them away. And my goal here is to spread permaculture as much as I can and food forest idea, because I think this is the answer. This is how we fix everything that has been broken by us unsustainably taking too much for too long. And it's time to get back in sync with nature and stop living beyond our means. And we can help by growing a lot of awesome food. I always wanted to work helping to protect the environment, and I knew that wouldn't be with any kind of corporation. I knew the only way to do that would be working for the government unless I started my own thing. And so now I'm working for the government and I'm starting my own thing. Government does what it can, but it's a flawed system, so we do what we can, and we do a good job. We work hard, but I want to do more for the planet, and that means building a forest in my backyard and my front yard starting next year probably. At least I'll start laying down the wood chips. I don't want to plant directly like I am with this one, but back here I want to get going. I'm putting in compost, lots of compost before I plant anything. I planted Ruellia in here earlier and mimosa. It's a small ground cover mimosa, not the giant tree you might be thinking of. I call it Touch Me Not. But anyway, hope y'all enjoy my channel, and I'll keep coming back with more content. I have a good Instagram, Katie Grows, and you can join me there. You can check out what I've been doing for the past year. I've made so many changes in my garden, it's crazy. A year ago, none of these raised beds had anything in them. They had no plants. I got them all cleaned out and filled up with nice compost. Got a nice pile. I laid down all these wood chips. Made a lot of changes in the front. I showed you, if you watched my first video, I added all of that in this year. I added all of this in this year. Like I said, I started growing food and it hit me like a bug, and now I can't stop, and any free time I have, it goes to my family first, and my food forest and garden second. I spend a lot of time out here because I'm making a lot of changes, but the hope is you get it established, and then all you do is harvest and enjoy time with your family in a beautiful place. Anyway, hope everyone has a wonderful night. I'm going to get back inside. It's been a lovely day. I'm about to plant this root-bound ruellia that grows like a weed here where I live, and I'm going to use it for chop and drop and to bring in pollinators. It has a really big, pretty purple flower. I've dug a hole down to the cardboard level here and filled it in with mushroom compost. I'm going to break apart these roots and free them up a little bit. They're not too bad because I repotted this earlier this year, believe it or not. But I'm going to break it up a little at the bottom here. I'm going to get that in the ground, cover up that ugly electrical box a little bit, and have some extra chop and drop and pollinator traction. So we're moving more stuff in as fast as I can. You know, I work a full-time job protecting drinking water for the state, so this is all in my leisure time. I do what I can to keep building and growing this little food forest area. Alright, got that ruellia in the ground, covered lightly with some wood chips. There's some iris back there. I just kind of buried them. They're coming up through the cardboard gaps. I wasn't worried about it. I've got about 800 of them, so no biggie. But yeah, happy to have this ruellia. Doesn't completely block the view of that, but those iris will come back, and not bad. So now I'm putting this native mimosa in, which is a nitrogen fixer. I call it touch me not. The leaves fold up after you touch them. But like I said, it's a nitrogen fixer, can chop and drop, and it's a good ground cover. I'm going to put it in front of this ruellia here. But I started digging, and look at all these mycelial threads. Like, these wood chips are just covered. It's crazy. Oh man. Alright, got that mimosa in there now. That'll spread out nicely here, cover this whole area, and when I cut it back, it'll bring that energy, release nitrogen at the root nodules. It'll grow back like crazy. Hey y'all, thanks for checking out my second installment for the channel. Be sure to like and subscribe, and before you know it, we're going to get growing with Grant in my Louisiana Suburban food forest.